Straight up, the only time that really kind of bothers me doing these recap videos is when I'm kind of waiting for a setup, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the recap video. And then during my video, it happens. I hope some of you guys nailed that Tesla dip to around $400. We were talking about it in the live stream for a while, and it was a nice move. So congrats to everyone that got that beautiful, like 6, 7, 8%. I don't even know what it is right now. Bounce off of $400 with Tesla. Just an absolute beautiful setup near multi-month support and resistance. So just nice. I'm happy for you. Anyway, today was a really weird, unusual day. Pre-market, almost nothing was looking really interesting. And then it really turned out to be a total mid-cap day. Everything from, AMC to Guess, GES. I don't even want to bother naming them all, but basically it was just a mid-cap kind of day. We didn't really have a lot of small caps that ended up being really nice. Also, another weird day. I only did 2 trades today, and I got stopped out of my day. So I want to talk a little bit about what my max losses are, or like why would I stop trading for a day? Obviously, I like to wrap up trading by 10:30, but that's more like because I'm exhausted by then. I'm right now in Berlin, and I start working fairly early in the morning, and I'm watching pre-market starting at like 6:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, by 10:30, 11 o'clock, I like to be done with my trading. But what if I'm having a red day? When do I stop trading? So I want to talk a little bit about that today, make that a bit of the focus here. And then I also want to talk about AMC. Why was I trading AMC? What did I like about it? Why did I swing trade AMC in the past? And then also, do I think AMC is going to be an upcoming swing trade? So I want to talk a little bit about more as well what's coming up with AMC. So a few topics to cover today, but it's not going to be that long of a video. Don't forget to drop a like, guys, if you do enjoy the content. If you're totally new here, definitely subscribe. Don't even think about it, just subscribe. The community here is phenomenal, and I don't think anyone regrets joining it. That sounds like I'm really putting the pressure on you, but just do it. You'll like it. Let's go to the charts now. All right, so there you have it. Here's our 2 trades that we made today. One was pre-market, right when TD Ameritrade opened up at 7 a.m. roughly, and the other one was a little bit later, around 10 o'clock. Yeah, so TSRI down 168. That was the first trade, and the second trade, AMC down 162, resulting in $330 losses. Honestly, the first trade, I'm not really that disappointed somehow. Yeah, I'm down $330. That's not great. It's kind of like my max stop for the day. So if I'm down 10% of my average position size, boom, I call it. And my average position size, it's getting closer to that $3,000 mark. For last month, it was $2.3 thousand. This month, it might be already closer to $3,000. And the reason I do that is because, I oftentimes have, 10% based on my average position size green day. And that's like not the craziest green day. So I know I can get this back in one day. And that allows me never really to fall too much into the hole. Now, obviously, if I have another red day tomorrow, that's a different conversation. But at least never in one day I, blow up anything too much. Kind of limits my downside a little bit. So yeah. Let's talk about TSRI first, and let me tell. And I think TSRI, and I think you guys will understand why it doesn't really bother me that much. TSRI, why is not TSRI? Okay, boom, there we go. Yeah, so this one opened up here. This was, possibly one of the lead gappers today. Today was a horrible day for small caps. There was nothing moving really nicely small cap wise. Maybe, I don't know, just look at this. Look at our scanner. So all of the main gappers today are kind of mid caps, things over 500 million market cap, right? We have VRA, which might be debatable as a small cap, and then PSV. This really gets more into our small cap zone, but all these don't have a lot of volume. So typically by now we should have over $500 million volume in our small caps, and none of them even have over 100 million in small cap momentum. So kind of crazy. Maybe today's going to be a really hot afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, TSRI, sorry about that, 1.2 million float. U.S. software app company acquires Geneva Consulting Corp or Group. And I was like, okay, well, that's actually kind of interesting. Plus, you know, this one is kind of looking like one of the lead gappers. It's holding its highs very well here. And then at the open, it, you know, shot up. It does have a lot of these kind of wicked spikes that oftentimes don't really hold their highs that well. So I was a little bit cautious on that point alone. But at the same time, you know, pre-market, this one actually looks okay, you know, and then boom, you know, right around 7 o'clock, the price, you know, rips up here. We have a decent little open volume here. I buy a pretty okay little pullback. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. I buy this little pullback, look for a continuation. I'm up around 2%, but then it just flushes right back down. And then all of a sudden I was down like 5-6%, which wasn't really the biggest position size. This was like about a $1,900 position size. Kept on selling off here. I tried to close right here at 6.2 several times, kept on chasing the price down, and I should have been more aggressive because all of a sudden I got stuck here in a flush of like 7.5%. And at this point, on the end of that flush, I was down probably around, I don't know, 10% or so. So that was kind of a tough moment, and 10% is my max stop on any trade. Why? Because my max stop on the trading for the day is 10% down on my average position size. This is pretty much close to my average position size, you know, around $2,000. Well, not close, but like we're at 66% pretty much based on my average position size. So now I'm kind of getting close to like stopping myself out on the day in just one trade. So that was like, I'm out of this one. And I close here on the bounce. I try to close all of this one at 608, but unfortunately I only got half filled, and then it pulled back again, and then I sold here the rest at 588, which was a little bit painful because, you know, probably lost like 50 bucks on that move alone right there. The rest of TSRI right now is kind of history. It looks like volume's really falling off a cliff here. I'm actually kind of surprised this one hasn't totally dumped yet. I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised about that. I was not expecting that this one somehow would manage to kind of stay in this area. So if we don't see a break of VWAP really soon, I would assume this to crash. But I gotta say, the fact that it's kind of moving back up here is surprising. It doesn't have a lot of volume though. Today's a weird day. I don't know. I'm happy I'm not trading anymore right now. AMC, the second ticker, you know, this was a mid cap that kind of popped up on here, and since you know, it's a mid cap and it doesn't trade as heavily or as quick, right? It doesn't have these, you know, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100% moves that a lot of these small caps have with a 1 million float. AMC is much bigger, 56 million float, and the company alone, what's the market cap on this one? I think it's around 600-700 million. Anyway, pre-market, we had a really nice little uptrend here. I really like this on the daily chart. We had a nice breakout here at $7. I was like, ooh, this looks good because we have a nice little trend line here, and we had a nice breakout, nice little multi-day runner. AMC also September 4th, movie theaters open again in the US, and AMC expects 70% of the movie theaters to open as well. So in the US. So this sounds really, really good. I like the catalyst. And this is why I wouldn't be actually swing trading AMC. And you guys know I love swing trading AMC. We had a really, really nice, like 100% winner here when we bought it near the lows. We had a triple bottom that looked like it was going to hold on the intraday. We ended up buying here, and then we sold it a little bit later for a pretty sweet 100% plus move. I missed some of the dips down here at around 375. You guys probably know I've been complaining about that several times. I wasn't looking at AMC again, and I should have never took it off my radar because this one was beautiful. The thing about this one now is we had a huge crack of momentum. And let me quickly show you guys what I mean by that on the, actually, let me go here to the unlimited account. So we had on the 5-minute chart, you can see it really well. And let me just pull up the 5-minute chart. Actually, let's go back to the charts, the big chart. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for everyone that's, you know, watching on YouTube. So what I always look for is cracks of momentum. And when you have a nice breakout and there's not even like a healthy retest and there's just a huge sell-off with big sell volume, that's always a big sign of crack of momentum. So AMC, I'm a little bit nervous on this point. And I kind of feel like it was buy the rumor, sell the news. And today it's kind of the news, all the good stuff. And I feel like there's much more downwards potential now with AMC. So I'm a little bit worried on this one, and I probably wouldn't be buying a dip on it just yet. So we'll see where it goes. What my mistake was with AMC is pretty straightforward. So let's go here. Well, actually, I don't even want to call it a mistake. You know, as a trader, like I'm profitable like 63% of the time, right? So trading, part of the game for me is losses. There's nothing wrong with losses, and I think I actually did a pretty good job with AMC. So with the other ticker, TSRI, you know, I held on to that one too long. But with AMC, I bought a dip here at a pretty good spot at 617, and then I was looking for a retest here back to the 90 in May. We didn't really get that, and I ended up buying a little bit lower here at 7.08. So now my average was around like 7, I don't know, maybe like 7.30, no, probably more like 7.14 or so, because this is much bigger size. So at one point I was down here at like 3%, and like when I get down 4% on a trade, that's when I start thinking, okay, maybe I should either, you know, am I willing to average down in this area? If not, is my thesis still wrong? Right? If it is, let me hold and let me probably average down. If it's not, let me get out of the trade. And that's pretty much what I decided to do. So this one was actually a pretty good loss. Like it wasn't that bad of a move. I ended up getting out here at like 6.8. So yeah, I probably lost like 2% on this one. The reason it's such a big loss is because it was a large cap, or not a large cap, it wasn't a small cap, it was a mid cap. And I was like, okay, well, since like a really good move on this one is like maybe a pullback and a breakout here, like that's 3% move. How can I, you know, readjust my risk tolerance from small caps, which, you know, 10, 20% moves, or, you know, 10% flushes, they move way different. So, okay, well, instead of trading, you know, $2.5, $3,000, let me basically double my position size so I can maybe, you know, make basically the same out of it, or lose the same as my other trades. So I had a pretty solid $7,000 position size here. So obviously, you know, closing at a 2% loss usually isn't like any big deal, but you know, now that we're at almost $7,000 position size, it made the loss feel a little bit bigger. But you know, at the same time, I could have, you know, bought the dip down here, you know, wrapped up 3% on this one, bought another pullback here. So like I could have made back my money very quickly. The reason I didn't keep trading though is because I was past $300. So, you know, if I took one more loss there, I would have been emotionally unstable. Then I, you know, would have been down $400, and then would have been down $500. It's a slippery slope. So at one point you got to draw the line in the sand. And for me, being down 10% on my average position size is that line in the sand. It's that simple. You know, tomorrow's another day, live to trade another day. And that's ultimately what my max stop for the day is. I also, yesterday, I hit another limit. So if I give back 50% of my trading profits, I close out for the day. So yesterday we were up, you know, around $300, and then on one trade, my last trade, I gave back $150, which I gave back half of my profits in one trade. So I was like, I got to call it, because oftentimes I've noticed if I give back half of my profits in one trade, then I somehow end the day red. So I started making that a rule. If I give back half my profits in one trade, at like a certain point, like not if I'm up $50, then I'm down $50, and I'm up 100, and then I'm back down 50. Like that's all like base hits. Like that's like a morning pre-market, just, you know, trial and error, right? But like once I'm up $300 and then I'm down 150, like that's when it gets a little bit more, you know, like, okay, well, or like I'm up 600, then I'm back down 300. Like, okay, clearly I'm, you know, I'm getting too aggressive. I'm doing something wrong. So let me just, you know, stop before, you know, while I'm ahead. So those are the two rules: 10% down of my average position size, and then give back 50% of my profits. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Definitely drop a comment below if you think it makes sense, and what your kind of ways you manage your risk are. Just really quickly here, when we wrap up, RXT, I closed this swing trade today. I just want to let you guys know if you weren't on the stream today. Let me just go to my unlimited account. So, you know, we bought this one on the dip here near $19 to $20. We had big support on this one. A lot of analysts uptick this, you know, good earnings. Everything was looking really nice, but it wasn't really able to hold the momentum like I wanted it to. So if you see on the daily chart here, we had that nice breakout I bought in this dip area, but the momentum has not been able to hold. So what I'm going to be doing with RXT is I'm going to be looking to buy actually again here between $19 and $20. I would like to re-enter this trade, but for now, I was feeling like there was too much risk on it. So I was happy to kind of close out here before it got any worse. And it looks like it has gotten a little bit worse. So I'm happy I closed closed out this one on the stream today. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to drop a like, guys. I really do appreciate all the likes. And subscribe if you're new. I'd love to see you again. Till next time, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.